Teddy, thank you. Joanna Johnson has nearly 3 million followers on social media who watch videos about her life and her thoughts on current events. But when Joanna isn't posting, she is a teacher and vice principal who led a movement to save her school. Metro Prep in Toronto was on the verge of shutting down this past spring after operating for, more than 40 years. Joanna now joins me to tell us a story about how you got the school back up and running. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me back. I appreciate that.
The last time you were on, you and I were chatting, and I couldn't believe the story of the school, what was happening behind the scenes.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was absolutely one of the craziest things I've ever been through. Unfortunately, in March, we lost our owner and principal, Wayne McKelvey, who I grew up at Metro. It's been my first and only teaching job. I was a baby teacher. So I grew up there, and when he passed, we weren't too sure what was gonna happen. And when it was announced that it was closing, Ryan and I looked at each other, and Ryan Seeley, who's the principal at Metro Prep now, we looked at each other and went, no, it's not. And then it just started us on this journey of trying to figure out how to make that come to fruition.
Because you had to tell the families that the school was shutting down, right?
Guys.
So these families heard, wait a second, there's going to be no school in September, this September.
Yeah. So that letter went out. That wasn't in my control. And as soon as that letter went out, Ryan and I said, okay, we have to have a town hall. So we invited all the families to Metro, and we all sat down together and said what was happening and what we wanted to do. And it was at that moment, everything was chaos, but it was at that moment I looked around this room and I had parents looking at us saying, if you're gonna teach in a tent, that's where we're gonna be.
Really?
And these are kids that are from grade 7 all the way to grade 12 who were looking at us to try to save a culture. It didn't matter, the name and the building and all of those things, set that aside. The teachers and the ethos of the school, they're like, this is worth saving. If you can save it in any way, shape, or form, we're with you, 100%. And it was like a trial by fire. I mean, I always called Metro my family, but this, now it's solidified. These people, these families that have stayed with us through the chaos and the uncertainty, that's family now.
Yeah, I can't imagine what they were going through as well as what you were. I mean, you were a teacher, and then you had to put on a creative hat in terms of like, how are we going to keep this? How are we going to keep this school alive? You had to then go out and say, okay, we need some money.
Yeah, we needed to find investors. Some people think misunderstood that I purchased. I do not have school buying money.
Right.
That's not, some of my students were like, Joanna, it's just TikTok money. Just use, and I'm like, that's not how. I don't have that.
Right.
But we found a beautiful, beautiful individual, an investor, and they believe in the school, they believe in the character of the school, they understand it's a very, very special place. It's a very unique private school. I don't know how many other places what we've done there even exists in Toronto.
Yeah, what makes it so different from other private schools?
A couple of things. I think, and we've sort of devised this idea that we're a school of character, and if you can imagine that with a comma, with a bracket, a little S, they're characters. Character meaning we teach the kid. We teach the curriculum through the student. And that student, if they have character, and what I mean by that is the right heart. They come to Metro and they want to give 100% of their effort. I don't care where they start. I don't care about standardized. I don't care any of that sort of seemingly objective rating of how a student is. You're going to come here and you have a 60 in math. Cool. Let's see if we can get that to a 70.
Nice.
You struggle and you have anxiety. Okay, let's see how we can help you manage that and get better. That's the point. The point is to take the student and whatever strengths and weaknesses they have, build up their weaknesses and, develop their strengths, and then make them sort of, or allow them more so to become the unique individual that they are.
These are the teachers we want in our lives. These are the leaders at the schools that we want in our lives. So congratulations, by the way. School is open next week.
It is open September 3rd.
How exciting.
We're still taking applicants right at this very minute, obviously because of the way everything's worked. Ryan and I have been painting. We have been fixing photocopiers. We have been talking to parents, establishing a parents' council.
Yeah. Well, good for you. And thanks for stopping by to walk us through what has happened over the. It's been a wild ride for the couple of months, so thank you.
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.